What's down, people, and welcome back to another episode of Ghetto Gospel. So where we left off at. Last week, we talked about how Jacob got rich and Laban was going broke because he was cheating Jacob and God ain't like that. We also talked about how God told Jacob it was time to pack up and head back to his hometown and how Rachel and Leah was all about it. The last thing we talked about was how Rachel stole her daddy's ugly little idols when they bounced up out of there. And now we caught up. So picking it up at verse 22, it said it was 3 days before Laban even found out that Jacob had cut out of there. And when he did, he rounded up all his people and went after him. And it say it took him 7 days to catch up with him. You gotta remember, Jacob had a 3-day head start. So when Laban was right on his heels, the night before he caught up to Jacob, God showed up in his dream like, now watch yourself, you better not say nothing to Jacob, good or bad. In my mind, sound like he should have just went home. Wasn't nothing to say to Jacob. But instead of doing that, when Laban catch up to Jacob, it say Jacob already had his tent set up, and so Laban put his tent up in the same spot. And Laban pulled up on that boy Jacob like,
what you done did, fam? Why you done played me and took my daughters away like they prisoners of war or something? Why you had to creep up out of town? We could have had a whole party to celebrate, but you ain't even let me kiss my daughters and my grandkids. You tripping, bruh. You know I could put hands on you, but last night, your God showed up and told me,
now watch yourself, you better not say nothing to Jacob, good or bad.
Now I understand you want to get back to your pops and all, but why you stole my gods up out of my house?
You hear that? That man Laban was worshiping them ugly little statues like they was gods. And so Jacob was like,
man, I figured you would have took your daughters from me by force. If you find your guys with anybody with me, they getting sent up.
Obviously Jacob ain't know Rachel took it.
Right now, with everybody watching, point out what's yours and take it.
So Laban started going through everybody's tent. Meanwhile, Rachel threw that idol in a bag and sat on it. So when Laban got to her tent, she told him she couldn't get up because she was on her cycle. And I'm gonna pause for a quick second to say this. You see what Jacob just did? That's what I personally would call stupid. You don't never gamble with a life, yours or nobody else's. So anyway, Laban did all that looking but ain't find nothing. So the next thing it say is that, what? You ain't got time to finish this out? But I can't just leave the folks hanging when Laban just made himself look stupid. More stupid. Wrap it up, B. We'll cover that next week. Well, I guess that's a wrap for this week. If you don't know Jesus, but you're trying to get to know him, go and click that first link in the description down there. I'll see y'all next week. And as always, peace, and I hope y'all people straight.